Good morning, everyone, and good morning. It's a beautiful morning out here. It's about 74 degrees, and I think it's about 6:25 in the morning, 6:24, and it's supposed to have a high of like 93, and it's gonna be pretty humid, and we got a lot coming up today. So I thought I'd bring you along for the ride and just shoot another vlog video where you can watch me stumble for my keys. So here's the plan of attack for today. I need to top off the oil, clean it off, take pictures of it, get that thing listed. I haven't really shown much of this, but I also have a mower I'm working on for somebody. So it's just a real simple job, a mower that wouldn't start, and it wouldn't crank, wouldn't start, but he said it used to crank and normally would start fine. So here it is. I didn't even take it off the trailer yet to work on it. He had somebody else work on it a while ago, and the other guys swapped out solenoids, or so they told him, and gave him the old solenoid. I swapped that old solenoid in there and it works fine. The only other issue is that it wasn't starting. It would crank but wouldn't start. So I checked for spark. We got spark. We had smelled fuel when I was checking it out at his house, so I think it's got fuel, but the battery started running out. So I charged up the battery, and I'm hoping I put that freshly charged battery in here and that this thing will start right up. It also is over full of oil, so I let some oil out and made a huge mess. I may try to clean that up a little bit. But anyway, hopefully the new battery gets that going. So that's project number 2. And I'd like to get both of those two done really pretty early here, hopefully in the next couple hours. After that's done, then I need to get back on this mower. I think it just needs a carburetor clean. So get that carburetor cleaned out and air up the front tire. So I'll hopefully get this one running and test it out and mow my field again because the grass is growing. That'd be great if I could get that one going and ready to sell. I also may need to spray my yard. So I've got some stickers or sandburrs coming up, which are kind of nasty little weeds with spiky balls that get stuck in your shoes and tires and transplant themselves, and if they get in your skin, it's really painful. So yeah, the list is getting a little long, but I really want to get those 3 mowers worked on, gosh, by 11 o'clock today. That'd be nice. But I've got other things happening this afternoon. We've got some cool things to pick up, and that stuff will probably be its own videos. But in the whole process, I might try to deliver this mower if I can fix it. That's the plan. Now, let's see what happens. So I got the John Deere, got it finished up and pictured up so I can list it now. And I guess that means it's time to mess around with this puppy. Really, I'm just gonna put a battery in there and see if it fires up. And if it does, I'm gonna say, we're done. If I got the right tools here. That's the right tool for bolts, right? That seat looks really wet. Why would that not fire up? This thing flooded? The ignition switch is bad. I know you noticed it kind of clicking there a little bit. So I pulled the ignition out. It's pretty straightforward. Found another ignition that looks the same. And this was off of a used mower, obviously, so it's a used ignition. But the mower was in pretty good condition, and I tried to clean up these terminal posts a little bit, or the connectors. So we'll see if this makes any difference. Turn the fuel back on. You know, I think I needed to run the fuel out a little more. I think it was backfiring because it's flooded. So let's put it full throttle, fuel off, crank it a while, clear it out, and then turn fuel back on and try to start. Yeah, it's trying to start. I'm gonna let the starter cool down for a little bit, and I hit it again. It's just really flooded right now because I think something in the ignition wasn't working, so it wasn't getting spark consistently. So we'll give it a little bit, let everything cool down, and try it again. All right, so I've waited probably 20 minutes or so. So it should have given things a chance to cool off and hopefully evaporate out if there's any fuel flooded in there. Let's try it again. The fuel is still turned off. I'm gonna crank it some and see what it does, and then try to turn the fuel on. Okay, I think it needs fuel turned on, so I'm gonna try that. I hear it popping a little bit. I just don't know. When you get into a motor a little bit, at least for me, it's hard to know if I'm just super flooded or if I'm super dry. So I'm not 100% sure from those noises if I'm hearing a lot of fuel that's just barely starting to catch but it's too much, or if there's not enough fuel, it's just barely popping. It's just very flooded. Okay, I let it dry out a little bit, taking the air filter cover off. Yep, it was just very flooded. Okay, I'm gonna do that a few more times before I turn the fuel on. Okay, now I think it's ready to turn the fuel back on. We'll just let it run for a little bit and charge up the battery and make sure it runs good, and then we'll try it again a little later. I probably should check the oil again, make sure I didn't get too much gas in the oil. I think that ignition switch was the culprit. That was solenoid. Whoops. I think I'm actually supposed to be sitting on this for the safety to work. The parking brake catch doesn't work, but that wasn't really in the scope of what I was working on. So we just wanted it running again. Time is 8:21, so we've been out here 2 hours and we have accomplished 2 projects. So there's still plenty to do on the grass. I don't want to mow yet. So I think the next thing we're going to work on is trying to get this other mower running here. All right, took a break. Ate breakfast. It's time to start working on this thing. There's still dew on the grass, and time is 8:55, and it is time to start working on this. Looks like I left a tool on there. Whoops. All right, so it is 91 degrees outside now. It's 12:41. I've had lunch, and I took the carburetor off here twice, and the first time didn't quite do the trick. The second time I cleaned it again, and I haven't had time to put it back on yet. So I'll do that hopefully here in a little bit. The dew is off, so it'd be a fine time to mow now, but it's getting late enough that I probably need to basically just get ready for picking some stuff up this afternoon. I have a 2 o'clock appointment. I don't want to be late to that, so I'll probably fire this thing up, drive it off the trailer. I don't want to try to deliver this first because I want to test it out more, make sure it stays working well, and I don't know how long it'll take to deliver it, so to try to deliver it and time that with picking up the next stuff may not work out as well as I would hope. All right, so I bought some ramps. Let's get these opened up, see how they work, make sure we're ready to go do this pickup. These are not the ramps I really wanted because those ones were out of stock last time I checked and this time. I decided, since I wanted to pick something up today, that it wasn't worth the time and effort to try to wait around. Harbor Freight ramps. Because this is Father's Day weekend, they had a 20% off coupon I was able to use. I think we paid just over $100 with the tax. So my goal right now is just to see if there's any assembly required. I kind of know how to use them. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's basically just got a safety chain, which is good. After kicking ramps off of things before, I'm definitely a fan of safety chains. I don't like that these aren't adjustable. That makes it a lot harder to hook them on safely. There is some assembly required. Put these parts on. These are on there. There. I'm gonna put my lock washers on the underside so that my bolt head doesn't stick out too high. Things are heavy. There we go, we got ourselves some ramps. I do not like those ramps. You don't need an arch down that low. Down here you can almost have it swept the other way, and then you need the arch up near the top so you don't get high centered. But usually your approach angle is just fine. In fact, that makes it even worse having it arch down there. It doesn't matter that much as long as the vehicle has enough traction to get up this really steep part. You just need it rounded where you're coming in at the top, which is what the other ramps had that I wanted. I'm not super happy with those ramps, but there's not much I can do about it. Anyway, I think it's about time for me to head out on the pickup, and I'll catch up with you guys later. All right, vlog update is 8:13 in the evening, and 89 degrees. It's dropped a little bit. And I still need to mow and put away some of the stuff that I got, which I don't really want to show yet. But the X320 didn't want to start for me, so I may grab some gas and take it down there to move it out of the field so then I can mow with the customer's mower. Yeah. All right, guys, so got the light on my hat because it was late and dark outside. It's actually 9:18 in the evening and 85 degrees. So I started at like 6:24 or something. So it's been a day, however many hours that is, 15. I'm not saying I didn't take any breaks because I did, but we went ahead and mowed part of the yard there, trying out that customer's mower, and it worked pretty decently. For some reason at first reverse wasn't working for me. But then I mowed some and then reverse started working, so I don't know what was up with that, but the mower runs and cuts pretty decently for what it is. Didn't get this carburetor back in the other Craftsman, but if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna throw a aftermarket carburetor in there, not spend any more time working on that carburetor. So that project was coming along, and we got the X320, the spark plugs torqued, and oil topped off. I used it to pull some stuff around and spun some tires and got some dirt up on there, unfortunately, but got it all pictured. Yeah, so that's end of today's vlog. It's been a very fruitful, productive day. Got some stuff picked up as well, and we are well on our way. Subscriber count is 634, so keep on watching, liking, and subscribing if you haven't already, and if you know other people who are interested in this type of content, feel free to share with them, and by all means, always feel free to give me feedback. So see you guys next time. It's dark out. There's a frog. Ah, he left. Sneak preview of what's coming up. Yeah, don't look anymore. I'm pretty excited about it though.